Good day, learners! Today, we will talk about composing inverted sentences with correct subject and verb agreement. The following objectives are: you have learned in a previous lesson that correct agreement between a subject and a verb requires that the two must be of the same number. This means that if the subject is singular, only one are considered as one, then the verb must also be singular. If the subject is plural, it means more than one, the verb must also be plural. Example: Alex likes watching cartoons on weekends. What is the correct verb for Alex? You are right, likes. Alex is a singular noun and likes is a singular verb. The subject and the verb agree in number since they are both singular. Second example, Alex and Marian study their lessons on weekdays. What is the correct verb for Alex and Marian? Very good. The verb is study. Since Alex and Marian consist of more than one person, they are plural. Hence, they also need a plural verb which is study. These types of sentences are simple because you can easily identify the subject and the verb, including their number, whether singular or plural. However, if the sentence is written in another way, it might not be easy to identify the subject and the verb, and consequently, whether they are singular or plural. Consider this example. Inside the cave are prehistoric drawings on showing horses and other animals. What is the subject of the sentence? Is it the cave or the prehistoric drawings? What about its verb? Can you tell if the subject is singular or plural? What is the correct verb that will match the subject? Well, let's get the hang of it by doing the next activity. Read each sentence carefully. Write S if the underlined word is the subject of the inverted sentence, and write V if it is a verb. Write your answers in your notebook. Were you able to identify the subject and the verb easily? Why? Why not? Take note that a verb must agree with its subject in number and in person. For instance, a subject in singular form must have a singular verb, and the subject in the plural form must have a plural verb. In most sentences, the subject comes first while the verb comes next. Example, the dog runs toward the bone. Many Filipinos love adobo. In the first sentence, the dog is the singular subject and runs is the singular verb. In the second sentence, the plural subject, Filipinos, and the plural verb, love. Subject must agree with its verb. However, in other sentences, the subject and verb are reversed or inverted, in which case the verb comes before the subject. The resulting inverted sentences can cause confusion in subject-verb agreement. Take notice of the following sentences. Which of the two inverted sentences is correct? 1. Inside the aquarium is 5 fishes. 2. Inside the aquarium are 5 fishes. You are right. The correct inverted sentence is number 2. Inside the aquarium are 5 fishes. You notice that the sentence inside the aquarium are 5 fishes begin with the prepositional phrase inside the aquarium. The phrase is immediately followed by the verb and the subject comes last. When a sentence has a verb that appears before its subject, it is called an inverted sentence because an inverted sentence is not the usual way that most people use in writing or speaking. Locating the subject and the verb of the sentence can be difficult. Fortunately, there's a way to solve this tricky issue. The technique to finding the correct subject and verb in an inverted sentence is by rephrasing it in the normal order. The normal order is to write a sentence where the subject is written before the verb. You can do this by asking what really is being talked about in the sentence, which will lead you to the subject. Once the subject is spotted, it is now easier to find the verb and check if it agrees with the subject. To illustrate what this means, observe the steps below. Here are more examples of inverted sentences. At the back of the car is a dog. The verb form there is singular and the subject form is also singular. In a corner stand 3 horses. The verb stand is a plural form of verb and horses is in the plural form of subject. The third example, on top of the table are cats. The verb form is plural and the subject form is also plural. Take note, in inverted sentences, the subject must always be found after the verb. These sentences may begin with the words here and there or with a prepositional phrase such as at the back, in a corner, beside the store, and many others. Even in this case, the subject and the verb must agree with each other. Now, let's have an activity. Complete each of the inverted sentences by choosing the correct form of the verb inside the parentheses. Write your answers in your notebook. Now let's answer. Did you get the correct answer? Good job! Activity 2. Directions. Identify the subject and verb in each of the following inverted sentences. Encircle the verb and box the subject. Let us all remember, in an inverted order, the verb comes first before the subject. The nouns that serve as subjects may either be singular or plural in form. When the subject is singular, it must take a singular verb, and when the subject is plural, it must take a plural verb. Inverted sentences have subjects come after the verb. Nouns used as subjects can be singular or plural in number. A verb must agree with its subject in number and in person even when the sentence is in inverted order. A singular subject takes a singular verb while plural subject takes a plural verb in that manner. Let's have another activity. Directions. Identify the inverted sentences in the items below. Write the letter which corresponds to your choice and write it in your notebook. Now, let's assess. Directions. Find out if the following inverted sentences employ correct subject and verb agreement. Copy the inverted sentence if the subject and verb already agree. Otherwise, write the inverted sentence with the correct verb. Do this in your notebook. Let's answer. Number 1. There are 5 students in the library. Number 2. Inside my pocket is my red pen. Number 3. In front of the televisions sit my 2 cousins. Number 4. Under the table is our cat. And the last number, number 5. To the school walk 3 teachers. Did you get the correct answer? Good job! Thank you, children, for listening. If you have learned something today, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Teacherific TV. Thank you so much!